Welcome back to the film room. Today we're talking about James Cook, the former Georgia Bulldog, now Buffalo Bill, taken at pick 62 in the second round of this year's draft. He's a really fun player, and we're going to look at his 2021 game against Tennessee in this video and kind of project what he can be for the Bills and just kind of highlight some of his strengths, weaknesses, and more. Before we get into the breakdown, though, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy, and make sure to suggest more prospects down below, as well as let me know your thoughts on James Cook. But now, without any further ado, let's get into the tape. So here's our first play. This is early in the game, and he's just going to show off kind of his high-end explosiveness and speed to just dust the entire defense for a touchdown. He gets through this gap pretty well, but we'll talk about that in the other angle. Just you can see he's explosive. He's able to make these angles almost non-existent, and the DBs are not able to catch up to him. And we'll see it from this angle now. As you know, he's just good at slipping through this gap. This is a really good blocking. This center really gets out there, but he's got a good gap. He dips through past this guy, and then he's just off to the races. And you can see he's just so explosive and just so good at getting to the next level. We'll watch it again just for fun because, I mean, this is a great play and kind of shows the kind of big play threat he can be, whether that's lined up at running back, lined up at receiver, which we'll see more of later. But he's so explosive, he's so versatile, and he's just a really good player. Now we're going to look at a snap of him in pass protection, which is something that I didn't expect to be great from him. And he had some reps where he didn't look great, but this is a great job picking up a blitz in pass pro. 24 here, going to come off the edge, and Cook is just going to lock him up, not let him get any room, and then Stetson Bennett will be able to escape out the front. Not a great, play from the rest of the line. They kind of let the blitz get home. But I was very impressed with this in just the way he uses his hands, uses his leverage pretty well, gets his hands on, keeps, a little bit of an anchor, not too much, but keeps hand fighting with him, and then, gets a good rep, doesn't let that blitz get home, quickly, and he just kind of locks that guy up. Now we're going to look at a play where he's going to show some great elusiveness at the line of scrimmage. A lot of these plays are hard to really dive into. We're not going to, this is just, he's a good running back. You can kind of see that all the little things are there, and you're just going to see he gets around a lot of these blockers at the line of scrimmage, and, this 97 right here has a pretty good angle at him, but he's just going to duck through. Doesn't look like he's even sweating it at all. Just keeps his calm and gets through to the next level. Turns what could be a loss into a nice gain and a first down. And that's something I think he can do pretty consistently. He's very good at just jump cutting, diving through these tiny gaps, and then just getting to the next level with a lot of speed and a lot of explosiveness. Now we're just going to go back-to-back plays here that are just good runs, nice gains. We're not going to talk too much about him, but you can see he's good just getting up to the next level, especially with a good offensive line, which I think the Bills have. He's able to just capitalize on his blocking, get up to the next level, and pretty easily show off his, quick speed, his explosiveness, and just duck around tackles and blockers to get the most out of it. That's our first one. Now here's our second one of that same thing. Just solid gain. Nothing too crazy, but just something I like to see from him. And, I didn't want to leave these plays out because they weren't, some crazy 50-yard run or some great block or some great catch. Just good plays on counter this time and just gets to the second level, has enough speed to get there. Now we're going to look at a really great play from him. So they're going to motion him out, and Tennessee is going to put, I think, a linebacker all the way out on him. This guy was lined up over here. I think he's a linebacker. And Cook, if you didn't know, can play some receiver. He might even be drafted to play more receiver than running back. And you're going to see on this play, he's going to absolutely route this guy up. We'll watch it in a little slow-mo first. He's going to make this jab step inside and then cut this back outside for the fade. Just dusts him, and you'll quickly see the result of this play and what this can bring to the Bills. If you've seen Brett Coleman's Khalil Shakir video, he talks about James Cook and how you can use him in this way to just create a lot of good matchups for all your guys, because you either put a linebacker out on him and the linebacker probably gets torched, or you put a DB and a linebacker is covering one of your other weapons who is going to have a good matchup then. So he's really a matchup nightmare, and this is just a great route and great amount of separation. And he's going to go up, get this ball over the shoulder. He just runs his routes like he is a wide receiver, and I think he can be a very effective wide receiver at the next level if you ask him to be. And I'm very impressed by this play. This is just a great rep and something that I think he can definitely bring to the Bills, and I think will definitely open up a lot of possibilities for their offense. Now we're just going to look at a good show of patience he has in the backfield. Gets a nice gain here and just kind of explodes through this gap. Gets outside, nearly turns this into more, but barely steps out of bounds there. You can tell he was frustrated with that, as he probably had a lot more yards after that if he didn't step out, but we'll look at it from this angle again, and just you can see this. The patience really goes through. He has all these guys around him. He's waiting for this hole to open up. He sees it. He gets through it, and he gets a good gain. Really not much more to it than that, but good play. Now here is him. He's going to catch a little jet sweep motion. And again, this is just another thing that you can do with him. He's going to catch it, has the speed, has the elusiveness, can bend the run wherever he needs to. I think gets the first down. But again, just more things you can do to diversify your offense. Just have more design plays to him. He can really do anything you ask of him. And I think he's going to be really exciting for the Bills, especially with Josh Allen and all the weapons they have. Now here's our last play. He's going to be getting this pitch outside. And, you know, it's just he's got the speed. He's got the contact balances. They're going to get him. He's going to get a leg on him right here. Andrew Booth had a play. We just did the video on him. Had a very similar play where he hit his ankle and he got knocked down, but, you know, stays up with contact balance, bends this to the pylon, and it is a touchdown. His third touchdown of the game. Had the receiving touchdown, had the 2 rushing touchdowns. And again, he's good. I mean, there's not much more to say than that at this point, but you know, you can see from the tape, he's just a really explosive runner. He's one of my favorite running backs in the class. Not my best guy, definitely, but let's wrap it up and talk about what he is as a player and what he's going to be for the Bills. I think he's definitely going to be a guy who's going to get quite a few touches from day one. I don't think he's going to be their starting RB1 or starting receiver or, you know, starting in the slot, but he's going to get a lot of rotational touches. He's probably going to be their third down back. He can do so much as a receiver and as a runner that he's just going to be a really great chess piece for the Bills to use in their offense. And he can probably do return stuff too. I don't know if he did any returning. I don't think so, but he could, because he's just that explosive, that versatile. And I think he's going to be really a great add for Josh Allen. And they got Khalil Shakir, who I also made a video on. If you want to check that out, do so as well, as I think he's going to be fun in that Bills offense. And I think James Cook is primed to have a really good year. In case, you know, if you're looking at fantasy, I think he'll be solid. I think just as an NFL player, I think he's going to be very solid, and he could definitely develop into their, you know, RB1, the guy who gets a second contract maybe, because at this point, I don't think Devin Singletary gets a second contract unless it's cheap. Same with Zach Moss. So James Cook could be that guy. They liked him enough to take him higher than most people were expecting there at the bottom of the second round, and I think he could definitely just outperform that draft stock, or at least perform accordingly to it. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know what you think of James Cook, especially Bills fans. Would love to know your thoughts on your draft. Him and Kyer Elam, pretty good haul. And suggest more prospects down below. And make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and, you know, let me know anything we can change to make these more enjoyable to watch. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.